Hello and welcome to the MHG podcast. As usual, life could be a little bit miserable, life could be a little bit dark. So I'm here to bring you a little bit of light, and I'm joined by Stu, who's going to bring you a whole lot of joy. How are you doing, Stu?
Yeah, not too bad. I probably just have to give some drugs out to provide the joy. Although, if you're an England fan, there's some joy to be had there at the moment. So, there is that.
Yes, there is for the England fans. And also, would you consider yourself a cis white man?
Yeah, I suppose I would.
So apparently, the world's all hunky-dory for you, if you believe the press and everything. All you got to do is ignore, all the LGBT community. Just got to ignore black people, disabled people, any minority, and apparently everything's back to normal and fine again, Stu. Have you found that as a cis white man?
Oh, is this a reference to Labour coming into power? And
yes.
Everything should be perfect.
And according to all the media, it's all been quiet and nothing's wrong. Everything's all perfect again now. And apparently, Keir Starmer is fuckable, according to the papers.
Really? Oh my God, that's a low bar. That is very low bar.
Which does sort of lead me on to the reason I brought this up, cis het white men, is because it was reported last night, as you pointed out, England won their semi-final in the Euros and have made it through to a Euro final. And as was reported, Gareth Southgate is the first England manager to take England to two international finals, apparently. The first England manager to do so.
No.
Our Ashley James Heroes of the Week, I'm going to put up Beth Mead to start with. Just Beth Mead, she can be the symbol for everyone else that's called this out. But we'll go with Beth Mead, who just went, no, I don't think so. Put some respect on Serena Weichmann's name. He's the first male England manager to do it. The first men's team manager to do it. He's not the first England team manager. Football is football. The women have done it before. And England's going to lose anyway. Because, do you like little bits of omens and coincidences and coinkydinks?
I can do on occasion.
So, when England men won the World Cup in 1966, you might have heard they've done that. England never go on about it, by the way. So this might be an unknown fact. But when they won the World Cup in 1966, they did so after extra time against Germany at Wembley on home soil. When England women won the Euros in 2022, they did so against Germany after extra time at Wembley on home soil. Last year, England women made it to for the very first time, an English team made it to a major final, international final on foreign soil, doing so at the World Cup, ended up losing to Spain. England men, for the first time, have made a international final on foreign soil, and they will take on Spain. I think they lose.
It's not looking good, is it?
No, the history says they're gonna. If the England women have won how the men won, the men will lose how the women lose, because the teams are the same and the circumstances are the same. Whereas England won the World Cup, the women won the Euros. So where the women lost the World Cup, the men lose the Euros. We don't promote gambling, but that's a surefire tip to go and put everything you have, get out loans from loan sharks, okay, dangerous people, right, it's safe as houses this, don't worry, stick it all on Spain, okay, nothing can go wrong.
Yeah. It's always good to bet against the team that you support as well, because then if you lose, then you've got the money. And if you win, you don't care about the money. So it works out pretty well.
Although, if they win and you've taken out dodgy loan sharks, maybe leave the country. Or not care about your legs.
Well, true.
And to bring it round about, in today's government, you don't want to be losing your legs.
No, you don't, because you wouldn't have any support. Which,
No.
that's
Well, you get some vouchers. Might get some vouchers still.
yeah, that was kind of a tasteless joke as well. But not getting any.
Support. Yes, sorry. I'm autistic, Stu. You've got to explain these things to me. Talking of support and broken legs, I don't know where I'm going. Video games, Stu.
Yeah, video games.
Do you get broken legs in video games? I mean, you get a head key in Lollipop Chainsaw, but I don't think that counts.
No, I can't think of anything where you get a broken leg. There's the beginning of is it Wolfenstein, the new Colossus? You start off with you're in a wheelchair because your legs don't work.
Oh, and Metal Gear Solid 5, of course.
That's right. You have to crawl. That's right. Yeah.
What about the Evil Within? Do you get your... Oh, no, you just get... No, you don't. You just get hung up. It's just battered a bit, don't you? You don't break anything.
Yeah.
Interesting. More broken limbs in video games. Like, realistic depictions as well. So, like, if you're playing a character and you break your leg or something, that's it. You've got to deal with that broken leg for the rest of the game. And, like, it's not just a case of you can run it off and just move a bit slower. You are fucked. That'll make a really good horror game.
It might be part of, like, the survival genre, where you have to, like, go around and collect weeds and
but even then, it's still a case of, bandage, sorted now. No, I'm on about you are fucked. You've got to manage gangrene the lot.
Nice. Yeah, that sounds entertaining. Yeah.
It's got to be in the right game. I'm not saying that'll work for like Sonic or Mario or something like that, but that could be interesting. Like if you want to go for a survival game, really go for it. Don't worry about health meters and stuff in terms of like, you've not eaten for 5 minutes, you're gonna die. Like proper survival horror.
You could do it. You could give it a try at least.
Yes. And talking of survival horror and needing your limbs, Stuart, it's serious now. What video games have you been playing? There's where you do a segue. That's a segue.
Okay, so...
You do need your limbs for your game.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, the limbs are very much involved. It's kind of the central thesis, because I've been playing a game called Angerfoot, and yeah, as you'd expect, feet are very much required. It's not fetishized. If you're after like a fetish thing, you probably need to look elsewhere. Although,
You can probably still look on Steam.
Well, yeah, exactly. You'll find something, and the sale's ended now, so you probably have to pay full price, but it'll be worth it if you're into feet. But yeah, no, Angerfoot, so it's a first-person shooter, or I suppose a first-person kicker, really, because, yeah, you run around levels. It's an action first-person shooter, basically kicking stuff and shooting stuff. And, yeah, it's kind of a little bit on the unusual side. I say that. It's got precedence. It's got, Mullet Mad Jack, which I played not long ago. It doesn't play exactly the same, but it's got that kind of similar framing thing of, it's more like a bit of a speedrun thing. It's a bit like Neon White or Ghost Runner in that your intention is to get through as cleanly and as smoothly and as quickly as possible from the level, and it's a point-to-point kind of race almost. And yeah, the sort of framing devices that, you live in a city full of Muppets, not just, badly behaved people or idiots, but they are badly behaved because they're all criminals. Criminal Muppets. Yeah, criminal Muppets. And the irony is that it's kind of like an inverse of real life. Like everything is crime-based and you're just trying to keep hold of your sneakers and get new sneakers and stuff like that. And
trainees.
Yeah, trainees. And to that end, you run through these levels and you defeat the enemies and go through a door at the end. And really, that's all there is to it. And it's kind of unusual because, like, the main bit of weirdness is, they all look like Muppets, which is a bit strange. And it's very garish to look at. It's very silly and crass, violent, but in a really comic book way, juvenile humour, all that sort of stuff. But gameplay wise, yeah, you do a lot of kicking. So they've taken a lot of inspiration from Duke Nukem 3D in that the kick is very fun. So when you kick somebody, they go really flying. So that's, a bit of a laugh. And you do get firearms, but you have to collect them off the bodies of people that you kill. And they only have a limited number of bullets. So you have to like get used to like, getting rid of them pretty quickly. John Wick style where, you chuck the gun away, get somebody else's gun, that sort of thing. And in terms of the combat, it's pretty much one-shotting everyone. You can take a couple of hits from most enemies, but 50% of them will one-shot you as well. So it's a bit Hotline Miami in that regard, It's a bit kind of like, insta-death and insta-kills. So the idea is to like min-max, get through the level as quickly as you can. And, it's all corridors. It's all like buildings and apartments and warehouses and that sort of thing. And, one rooftop to the next to the and, bits of Mirror's Edge as well. So there's loads of influences like that. It's all sort of speedrunny, all fast-paced. Combat's good. Works pretty well. It's, as I say, the one-shot kills thing is a blessing and a curse, because killing things in one shot and being one-shotted, that can get a bit frustrating sometimes, especially when you're getting near the end of a level and somebody, you go through a door and you're instantly shot and you have to start the level again. Now, they're not really long levels, but, 2 or 3 minutes and you have to redo it. Can be a bit annoying. So you have to kind of memorise the level maps a little bit as well. And, you can get shot from off-screen. You can get shot from people behind corners that you can't see. It can happen a little bit. Could do with a little bit of balancing with that, I think. But, not terrible. In fact, it is fun. But the only problem I've got with it is it's very repetitive. Like, you can get different sneakers, different trainees, different trainers, whatever you want to call them, different DAPs, and they give you different sort of abilities or buffs, really, rather than abilities generally. So, bigger jumps, more power, vertical kicks, all sorts of different things like that. But you earn coins for them by doing sort of tasks in the missions, completing it with only killing people with your feet, that sort of thing. But it is still a bit repetitive because it's just mostly corridors, mostly kicking down doors and kicking the person who's in front of you and you go through it. So it will, whether you enjoy it much will depend on whether you like that kind of thing. There's not much depth, not much sophistication. It's very simplistic. It looks okay, but it's a bit silly. The humour doesn't really land with me, but if you find it funny, that's cool. But it's fine. It's one of those I would recommend. There's a demo. I would recommend trying it. And then when you play the demo, realise that the entire game is going to be like the demo. The demo. Yeah. So, and if you like that, you'd be quids in. But that's it really.
Yeah, see, I'm okay with something that's a bit one shot. It becomes more of a fast-paced puzzle game, I suppose, in that respect. And repetitive doesn't bother me. I like repetitive if it's fun. And this sounds like it's just over the right side of the threshold. Maybe not completely like all in amazing fun repetitive like Tetris or something like that, but it's not a case you're going, oh, do I have to? So at least it's got that to it. Couple of things I want to say in relation to what you've just been saying. One, At Your Feet is, as you might have guessed, it's a visual novel about a Mexican college student who has a foot fetish. That's available on Steam on sale at the moment for £6.34. So
Lovely.
if you like Angerfoot, you can get your foot fetish visual novel at half price at the moment. Secondly, obviously this is made by the people who done Genital Jousting, as well as other stuff. Is there a build out there, do you reckon, where there's no foot involved but giant cocks? And did it start off as a genital-based game?
Gotta be.
Yeah. If you look at the shape of the legs and where it comes out and stuff, that started off as a giant penis, didn't it?
Oh, it's nailed on. It has
the original build.
Yeah.
They can answer that. Free Lives can answer that. And thirdly, and I'll bring this up, this is actually a serious point now, is I don't know if you've seen the footage. I think it was at the developer conference at Brighton. They had a build of this up where they'd set up a basically you had your controller and everything. You're moving and shooting, but to actually do the foot kicking animation, they had a custom button built on a stand that you kicked. So you're playing it and you kick it.
Right.
And now that was a brilliant idea. Obviously, you don't want that in your home because you're going to kick something and break something, but could this be one of those games that would then be better suited, and this is a shame where the industry's died now, as an arcade cabinet? So you scale it back even more, maybe even have it on rails light gun with an actual kick pad. So you're standing there, you're kicking the pad and you're aiming and shooting with a light gun.
Yeah, I mean, that would work pretty well. It'd be a health and safety nightmare, but it'd be, I reckon it'd be fun while your legs lasted.
Yeah, but don't forget, we used to have machines that were open for everyone to be around that were essentially flight simulators that spun around.
And those great big punch bag things, it was quite easy to break your hands on.
Yeah, it's only a health and safety nightmare these days. I remember stuff where, it was pretty dangerous. Super Hang-On was fairly dangerous.
I know, there was risk involved, that's why they were great.
And that skiing one.
I know,
yeah. There you go. Turn this into an arcade cab.
Yeah.
A light gun arcade cab with actual kicking motions.
Or VR, you could have a go at it. Although, again, health
You'll
and
kick
safety.
your TV. Yeah, you'd kick your TV.
Completely.
You'd have to be mixed reality, so at least you know where you're kicking.
That's a good plan. Yeah, let's get it done.
Yes. Arcade machine, which costs developers a lot of money, or VR, which costs everyone else a lot of money. Or both. Why not both?
Exactly.
And genital foot, anger penis, DLC, please.
Genital foot, I like that.
Genital foot, yeah. Oh dear. And don't forget, you can get At Your Feet half price on Steam at the moment. But no, I might check this out actually. It's one I do fancy still. I like the look of it. What you said about it seems right up my alley. It's got humour, it's repetitive, it's shortish, so yeah, I'm good for that.
Cool.
I've been playing stuff I can't talk about, Stu, so that game I've been playing, really good. I quite like it.
Mm-hmm.
The other game I've been playing, it's alright, this other game I've been playing, oh my god, it's so good, tests the brain really, really well. And this other one, I don't know yet. So they're games I can't talk about. On the other side of things, I've been into sim games. Obviously I started on the trains.
Yep.
Not been on any planes or automobiles, unfortunately, but I have been driving trucks. Is a truck an automobile?
It is.
I mean, it is, isn't it? But yeah, it counts as an automobile.
It does.
I don't know whether automobiles just counted as cars and taxis and stuff, but okay, so yeah, I've done the automobiles. Booting up Euro Truck Simulator again, playing around with some mods. It's such a relaxing game. When you really get into it, it is so relaxing. Just like, set off on a route. The condensed way they do actual UK and actual European cities and stuff like countries and stuff like that. So like Liverpool to Manchester is like really, really short, but you still have to do sort of like this weird M6, M62 route and stuff like that. It's not quite, it's obviously it's not one to one. Like I think Train Simulator's one to one on the routes they do, which is why there's only so many routes and they take ages to come out. So when you do like Doncaster to Peterborough, you are literally travelling Doncaster to Peterborough. So it's that does it. This is like shortened versions, but it's kind of worked out what the times would be as well. So it says sort of like if you're travelling from Liverpool down to London in a truck, it's like a 7 hour journey. But that time shortens really quickly. So 6 hours is about 45 minutes in game, maybe. But it's so relaxing to hit. I absolutely adore it, and there's so many mods out for it that gives you all the real companies on there as well. I got to drive a truck for Ineos, so I crashed it into a river because Jim Radcliffe is another one of those types.
Right.
I didn't really, so I wanted to complete the mission. But yeah, you get like IKEA trucks, Lidl trucks, UPS trucks, all of those. They're all there. Really, really good. Really, really fun. And it's definitely one of the best sim games. But I've also been trying to get into fishing sim games. Because obviously the best fishing game we all know is Sega Bass Fishing.
Yes.
But you can't play the best version of Sega Bass Fishing these days because no one's made a fishing rod yet for it. Like for PC use and stuff. Obviously, if you've got a Dreamcast, you've got all the old stuff, sure, you can do it, but I can't sit down on my Steam Deck or on my PC and play Sega Bass Fishing properly.
No.
So I've been trying out another. I've been playing Call of the Wild, the Angler, which is pretty good. It's quite in depth. I don't understand like all the baits and stuff, so I've got to learn all that. But again, it's really, really sort of like in depth, great simulator. I tried one called Fishing Planet, which is really fun, but every 2 seconds it's like, hey, buy the premium version. Well done, you've unlocked this. Buy the premium version. No, I'm done. I don't care how good it is. If you're going to try and sell me crap every 10 seconds, I really don't want to know.
God, no.
Really, really don't want to know.
Nope.
And I've been looking to see what other ones are about. You can get like a ship graveyard simulator now, which looks really interesting, which is... it's like basically, yeah, you go to sort of like beaches and stuff, and there's like washed ashore, like massive ships, and you've got to basically cut them down and save them essentially. There's police simulator, I think it's called, or police patrol simulator, whatever. Been playing that, and it's not about being racist or anything like that. It's general beat cop. Well, I mean, it might as well be. It's beat cop stuff. But no, you go round and you're giving out parking tickets. You might come across car crashes and you've got to take everyone's statements. You've got to arrest people for dropping litter, that kind of thing. Not arrest, but caution them. Like, you can let people go. You can choose what sort of cop you want to be. That's really fun. And I'm kind of really enjoying doing it. And I'm just going through my list of ones I've got. I've got like the various truck simulators, so like Mud Runner, Snow Runner, stuff like that. The American Truck Simulator, Euro Truck Simulator, Builder Simulator, the Car Mechanic Simulators, Chef Life, which is a chef simulator, Model Builder, Lawnmower, Power Wash. There's one that's Rover Mechanic Simulator. I didn't get on too well with that one. Train Sim Worlds 2, 3 and 4, not number 1, but Train Simulator Classic. Other train sims as well, Derail Valley and Train Life. And there's, just House Flipper 1 and 2 there. But there's loads of these, and I'm really getting into them. They are so good. Because... yeah, I don't know what it is. I don't know what does it. I think the ones where you've got like real world stuff, so the train sim ones, and like the like construction simulators one, I'm interested because you've got all like the real world diggers and things like that. So like cat diggers and stuff. Not cat diggers, that'd be amazing. But what are they called? What's it? Caterpillar, the brand. Yeah, that's it. Not digging up cats, not cat graveyard simulator, pet cemetery simulator.
That could be good.
Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, there's just something about them, and I know I've spoke briefly about them before, but I've not been playing, not allowed to talk about anything else. So, but yeah, these are like even like Car Mechanic Simulator, which is I thought would be like really really naff. It's got all like real world cars in it as DLC, and like all the parts and that are all, I believe, real. I don't know enough about actual car mechanics to know how real it, like the actual parts are and how in depth it is. But it's like you get like there's a BMW DLC, so I'm assuming like you can get all like proper BMW parts for it and have to go and buy them, and you manage your business. And what I love about a lot of these games is you've got like the business management side, which is really cool, but you can also just do the crap side, just do the bits if you want, don't worry about it. Autopsy Simulator, I think I spoke about it on the podcast or whether it was on one of my write-ups, but that was really in depth in a good way. And actually learned stuff about it. I think what you actually get with a lot of these games, and I think this is where it's like an autistic's dream, an ADHD's dream, is you get to try all these things without the risk involved. So I I'm never going to be able to go and drive a truck or drive a train as a job. And I'm not going to got the money to go and try and even practice or learn. So to do them is great. And like Model Builder Simulator, like I've seen some people argue, if you want to build models, just build models. Right, one, I'm blind. Two, I'm cat-handed as hell. Like I remember when I used to try and build airplane models when I was younger. It's mostly just glue and with some plastic in it that looked a bit like an airplane.
Yeah.
And then the stickers would go on wonky. And I always wondered why my uncle would look really, really stressed at me. Because he's probably spent like 40 quid on this model airplane that I thought, oh, this would be good to do with Brad. And then I've gone glue, sticker, that'll do.
Yeah.
But I don't have to worry about that, and I can do it on a video game without wasting hundreds of pounds wrecking stuff. Same with car mechanics. I'm not going to be good at car mechanics, but I can at least get an idea of what's involved. And I don't want to touch fishing bait and fish. Oh God, that's nasty. I couldn't do it.
Yep.
But all these things, I get to do them. I don't want to mow the lawn, but I will mow the lawn in Lawnmower Simulator. Boring. Not when you're doing it for achievement points and making actual real work. Well, fake money. Real money? No. Fake money. Oh, yeah. Yeah, baby. Give me all that. I'm a multi-billionaire when it comes to fake money in video games because I hold money like it's no one's business.
Yeah.
Give me a tenner, it's gone in a minute. But yeah, no, they are all really, really, really good. And what I really like about them is so many of them actually play really well on the Steam Deck. You've got to lower the graphics and you've got to temper your expectations a bit, but oh my God, they are so much fun to play.
Yeah, it kind of a game changer when you can play it on the Steam Deck as well, because they take so much time when you're playing them properly, don't they? Time investment and stuff, and you need to just settle in and cuddle up with them and play them for a good long while.
Yeah, I mean, another one, obviously, I mean, this is lazy, Stu. I'm going to give you that this is lazy and I could just go and do it. But there's a simulator game called Juno, New Origins. And basically what you need to do is you basically use it to build aeroplanes for a start, but also you eventually go and basically build space rockets and take the space rocket out into space. Now, I realised, Stu, honestly, I should just go and do that. Get that degree, go to NASA, etc. But I can't be asked, you know.
Yeah.
I'm just, I'd rather just play it on a video game. I know it's easy, Stu. Right, I could go and do that tomorrow, but I'm lazy.
Yeah.
There's new trains coming out, by the way, for Train Sim World. And I looked at it and went, oh, that's not normal reaction. I shouldn't be going, oh my God, there's new trains I can play. That if you'd have told 14-year-old me who was playing, I don't know, like action games on my like the Mega Drive and stuff like that I'd be getting super excited because there's new train routes and trains coming out on a train simulator game, I would have gone and bullied myself.
Yeah, and you would have been right too. It's weird, isn't it, how you change over the years? You just get more settled, and you just want to do things that are more. Yeah.
And again, watching someone like play, like, because there's someone who plays a lot, he's got like the full setup on YouTube, like he's got the rail controller thing, but I really want it. It's really cool.
Yeah,
it's really cool looking, triple monitor, everything, and he's playing SimRail, which is like the competitor to Train Sim World. It's kind of like the FIFA Pro Evo battle, the Sega Nintendo battle of it might not be, but anyway, he's playing that, and it's obviously a lot newer than Train Sim World, so there's a lot more little bugs than that. But he was playing it so more in depth. Like he was doing this train where you had to start off in one cabin, flick some switches to turn it on and do stuff. But because you had to turn the lights on, and it was an old train, he had to walk all the way back to the original, like the other cabin up the other end, to turn the rear lights on there and stuff like that, and then go all the way back and do all the bits. So it was like proper manual. He was so excited about it. And again, we spoke about this before. I love that passion for absolutely everything. It's like when you see people, like I've seen, like there's videos of someone who's got a full setup for like Euro or American Truck Simulator. I don't know which one it is, but he's built a proper wheel setup. So he's like modded Fanatec wheel with a giant lorry style wheel on it, and it's got all like the various controllers built up and everything. Massive triple monitor set up, big like proper trucking seat there, so proper immerses himself. And he's driving a lot and he does all the things. So like if one of the trucks lets him out or a car lets him out, he waves and he gets proper into it. Nice. And I love that. I love that. I mean, I remember like when I used to play Pro Evo and stuff, I'd do the commentary myself, and it's only the same as doing that. And it's I absolutely love this stuff. But Fanatec are actually bringing out a steering wheel. It might be one of the other ones, but they're actually bringing out a steering wheel that's more truck based and based for the simulator games rather than the racing games, because a lot of people do just use the racing game ones, but they're bringing out a truck build one because obviously they're seeing the rise in popularity with the flight sticks and the obviously now like the rail controller and stuff like that. I don't think we're going to go down the line of seeing I mean, we might, but like a lawnmower controller or a power wash controller or something like that. I mean, again, we might. But I love that you can tell now that it's growing, that these are the businesses that the likes of Fanatec can go, actually, there's a market here for this and we can sell this. The only problem is it's also expensive because it's still minor in terms of what they can sell. It's still so expensive, which is a shame.
Yeah.
But I'm very tempted. I want to pick up a rail controller. Like the cheapest one's about 150 quid, which isn't bad. Yeah, is it?
Well, no, it's not really. I mean, it sounds like
this where you go, yes, don't be stupid.
Oh, yeah, no, don't spend the money. But I mean, does it represent good value? Well, yeah, because, I've bought a lot of these things, and I've bought a lot of them sort of cheap second-hand, from, they were top of the line when they came out, and they're 20 years old now. But the thing is like they're so well manufactured that you really appreciate them, and they'll probably last forever. And they use proper parts and gearing and stuff like that. It's proper stuff, just repurposed for the market. Like the last one I got that was a real bargain was my racing wheel, which I got for, now I want to say a couple of hundred from what's it called, Argos, about 4 or 5 years ago probably. Only one I'll ever buy. Only got it because it was cheap and I wanted to try it out. And it came with, for that money, I got like the wheel, the gear shifter, and the pedals, and the frame for attaching it all to. So like it was a real good bargain. But yeah, the gear shifter is absolutely like proper mechanical shifter.
Yeah.
The wheel feels like a proper wheel. It doesn't feel at all plasticky. It all this stuff is a good investment as a push, but it's a good investment in your entertainment. But to go back to your thing about dedicated controllers, there must be a gap in the market for having a really easy swappable system where you can clip on different. You have to buy them extra, but buy a clip-on bigger wheel for when you want to drive trucks, and different types of gear sticks and stuff that's just adaptable without you having to buy a brand new set every time. There must be it must be fairly easy. So gap in the market.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, like you've got the people who are dedicated into like the Formula One racers, or they're Assessor Corsa, and like the real hardcore sim racers. I get that they want actual full-on racing wheels and stuff like that, so they all go and spend upwards of $1,000 on a proper Thrustmaster or Fanatec wheel that's got all the doohickeys built in, so it's got like the proper feedback and it proper makes, it's got all the proper buttons from a Formula One car. I get that. But there's the gap you need is like, here's a base that's just a unit, and we sell just a unit and the most basic round little wheel. It's got false feedback, whatever, and here's the unit, and that's what you get. So everything is then like what you actually get is you get a wheel and it's got like controller, like Xbox controllers in the wheel, so to speak. So you've got like your triggers for acceleration and gear changing, but you steer as the analog. as basic as that, £100, for example. But he said that, yeah, you can go, right, actually, I actually want some pedals now, and I want a gear shifter. So you can go and buy that separate, and I want, you know, an actual car wheel, like not a racing car wheel, just a normal car wheel with all the little indicators and stuff on it. So you can buy that. I'm looking at the Hori truck control system at the moment.
Oh, yeah.
And that's got like a wheel. It's got like all the various like buttons on the face of the wheel for doing, like, I suppose, like answering your phone or doing your lights, your wipers and stuff like that. But the actual gear shifter has got a load of extra buttons on it as well. So it's got your hazard lights thing on there, and loads of other buttons that I suppose are needed for your truck. And that I think is really, really good. And I mean, that as an all-in-one is like £550 from Amazon, which is a lot of money for me. But if you're going to play nothing but Truck Simulator, it's obviously great. But someone like me who's going into it, I'd want to build up to that. Because I want to have the option where I go, right, I've been playing this for 2 years and I'm into it, and I get a wheel and I go, actually, I'm getting a bit bored now. I don't want to be £550 in the hole. But if I've spent £100 on bits and then maybe upgrade, it's not as bad, because you can then sell the bits you don't need anymore rather than as one. Because we've had wheels before, we've had to sell them because they weren't getting used. And now I'm going, well, I could have used that wheel for Truck Simulator. Yeah. And it's the same, like, I mean, you look at the wealth of flight sim controllers. Jesus Christ! I mean, I know I've got the that hottest one that I had that I gave to you mod, and then gave back to me, and that's brilliant. But that feels still like a toy in the nicest possible way.
Yeah.
You've added all this, but it still feels like a toy. But some of them are built up in such a way that I think they are like one-to-one replicas of actual like flight sticks. There's one here you can get in Currys. It's a Cytec Pro Flight Bundle, right? And this is just insane. It's got the like the steering wheel, the actual like turny thing. I don't know what it's called in an airplane. I forget. The yoke, is it that thing?
Yeah.
It's got various pedals that you can get with it. Clip-on dials that supposedly actually go into work, so you can hook it up to Flight Sim, and they actually work physically. So you've got one that tells you what your level is, like your flight level, one that's your fuel level, one that's your knots. But it's also got a massive like radio thing as well that's got all your different inputs there. So it's got dials, it's got things to say what your like all your different your directions is, and it's like some proper. It's like 10 grand, but it looks like it's taken out of an actual like small aeroplane.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it costs much more to actually get the aeroplane, in all fairness. And it's just crazy. You can get that for flight sim games, and that's for your proper review. So that's for someone who's probably built an airplane cockpit in a shed. And the train sim ones are getting there, but are nowhere near this. But I love this shit. But yeah, it's got to be more accessible, because you go from a toy, which is the hottest, like the cheap hottest one, which is about £60, to you've got to really, really invest. There's no in between at the moment. I think there needs to be an in between.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and there is a gap for it, as we said, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, there's one here, I don't even know what this is. The Thrustmaster TQS Viper Mission Pack, which I don't know what it's meant to be. I think it's for more like your fancy Spitfires and stuff like that. So it's got switches and stuff, and it's its own little extra stick, which I don't know if it's like a speed type stick or whether it's for something else, but it's just insane. And that's like £350 on its own, and it's clearly not something you'd buy for dabbling in flight sim. But oh my god, these things. I mean, then you get into the space-based ones, and that's just even crazier what you can do with some of them.
It is.
And before I just carry on, I've just realised I've just gone non-stop on Sims for about 20 minutes, Stu. I had nothing to play, so I'm going to shut up now.
It's good though. Yeah, and fascinated by controllers and stuff like that, and we'll definitely carry on talking about it. But that's for the future. In the meantime, visit our website, check out all the content. look at us on YouTube, engage with us on Discord if you want to chat, and apart from that, as usual, stay safe and stay sane.